Yo, what's up? It's your favorite Samoan Barkeep here, and I'm here with 5 tips for whiskey beginners. I'm not going to tell you which bottles to buy to start your collection, but I'm going to tell you what are the pitfalls of getting into whiskey and how can you avoid those. All right, so I got into whiskey in March of 2023. I hated it my whole life. For those of you who are new to the channel, I was a big tequila fan, loved tequila. March of this year, someone mentioned that if you like añejo tequila, that you'll probably like whiskey. So I said, okay, I'll give whiskey another shot. So I ended up trying the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch, and I loved it. So if you're not familiar with the Lost Monarch, Redwood Empire is a distillery out in California. This is a burr rye, so that's a blend of bourbon and rye, and it's fantastic. 90 proof. Normally I like higher proofs, but this is still a banger at 90 proof, and I think this is like a $40 bottle. So thank you, Redwood Empire. You are what got me hooked on whiskey. This bottle is a banger. All right, so anyways, after tasting that bottle, I got hooked on whiskey. And so that led to where we are now with going a little overboard on the whiskey. So I wanted to reflect at the end of 2023, just what are some things that I could tell you to help you if you're just getting into whiskey so you could avoid some of the mistakes that I made. So before we get into those 5 tips I have for you today, I want to tell you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know how much it helps the channel. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think of my tips, and if you have other tips for new whiskey beginners, throw them in the comments so we can all learn together. And then don't forget, check the my channel page. Got the Patreon link in there. Also in the description for this video, it'll be there as well. If you're interested in Patreon, you can jump in there. I have free memberships if you don't want to contribute. There's one as low as $3 all the way up to, the big baller status levels. So I just did my second monthly giveaway. So this month's winner was Baker Drinks, my favorite people from, a little bit south of me. And yeah, just consider Patreon if that's your thing. If it's not, then, just skip it and let's get into the 5 tips. Tip number 1. Try before you buy. There's one bottle. It was an Old Elk. I don't remember if it was a wheated whiskey or a wheated bourbon, but it just wasn't my jam. I just bought it, brought it home, tried it. Terrible. So these bottles are expensive. So there's a number of ways you can do it. Try before you buy. So we have a lot of local bars around here that have fair prices. So, go to a bar, have a couple pours, try out a few things. Make sure you try everything. So a lot of people just get into bourbon and they just drink bourbon. But I personally love ryes. And if I just went straight on in bourbon and didn't get into ryes, I would never have found out that ryes are my first true love. So, anyways, bourbons, ryes, single malts, wheated bourbons. You can try some 4 grains. You can try some finished bourbons, some toasted bourbons. There's all kinds of things. But try everything and see what kind of things you like, and then start diving into more in-depth into that. So for me, I got into ryes. The Redwood Empire obviously is a burr rye. Yeah, try everything. Figure out what you like, and then try before you buy. All right, tip number 2, make some whiskey friends. Like, man, I can't even bring that one up enough. Make some whiskey friends, because all this is no fun by yourself. I mean, that's me personally, obviously. So if you love to just sit here by yourself and drink, then more power to you. But I would much rather drink with some friends, have some stories, have a good time, than just sit by myself and drink. I've been really lucky to meet a bunch of local people that love whiskey just as much as I do. So it makes it way more fun. You can also try a lot more things because, when you have 7 people that love whiskey, that's a bigger budget than I have by myself, right? So, like I said, man, make some friends. It makes this so much more fun. All right, before I go on, I'm going to have a little bit of this Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. It's been a while, so let me get into this. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Oh, that Redwood Empire, try that. If you don't like Burr Rye, you can get the Pipe Dream, which is the bourbon. You could get the Emerald Giant, which is the rye. But just try Redwood Empire. It is delicious. All right, tip number 3. Set yourself a bourbon budget, okay? A realistic and reasonable budget. Unless you just won the Powerball, set yourself a budget and stick to it. There's always going to be another bottle that you want. I guarantee it. Just this weekend, I went to a raffle with my other buddy, Bourbon Baller Lee and Toast Malone. So they had an awesome raffle. But they had a bunch of the Russell's Single Rick in there. And yes, I would really love to have a bottle of that Russell Single Rick. But that is a $290 bottle. And after our hell tax, it's like $360, like $70 in taxes on a freaking bottle. Like, F you, Washington, dang. But anyways, the raffle was a blind bag raffle. If they picked your name, you got to pick a bag. And when I had my name drawn, I picked my bag. I just said to myself, please don't be this Single Rick. Even though I really want it, I really love to try it. That $370 price tag is brutal. So, anyways, luckily I came out with a Jack Daniel's 10-year, much more affordable. So yeah, set yourself a budget, adhere to it. There's always going to be bottles that you're going to want. If you've already exceeded your budget, you're going to have to wait till the next time you see it. So, there's no reason to buy bottles if you can't, if you can't afford it, or if you have other responsibilities you need to take care of. So, not only do I recommend drink responsibly, but buy responsibly. All right, so we're on to tip number 4. Watch your tatering. So this kind of falls back into that budget category as well. Watch your tatering and FOMO, fear of missing out. So my very first bourbon hunt I went on, I tatered out. I got the E.H. Taylor small batch for $100. This is a $40 MSRP, maybe $50 now bottle. I got it for $100. And then I also bought the Weller Antique 107 for $100. It was my first time doing a bourbon hunt. They had all these bottles that I've seen talked about in all these whiskey communities. So, I tatered out and bought them. Now, if I found a pirate bottle of ECBP from like 10 years ago, that might be something where I might have to make an exception, because you're not going to see a lot of those. And, if you see a BTAC bottle of George T. Stagg for MSRP, you might not see that again. So you can make exceptions, but if you see a Blanton's for $100, don't worry, you're going to see another one at some point. And if you don't, hit up your favorite Samoan Barkeep. I'll get you a Blanton's, okay? They're easy to find. All right, my last tip is, I see a lot of people kind of trying to cater their tastes and preferences so they can fit in with others, that kind of thing. Enjoy the whiskey the way you like to. I don't care if you want to put ice in it, you want to put a water in it, you want to put a Coke in it. I don't care. Put whatever you want in it. If that makes you like it better, then fine. Do whatever you want. the whole purpose of this is that you enjoy it. So I'm not going to put any limitations on it. Now, if I was one of these guys shelling out, $2,000 for a Eagle Rare 17, I might be a little hesitant if you're going to douse that sucker in Coca-Cola. But, anything else, regular type stuff, you want to mix it with a Coke, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Whatever is going to get you to try it and enjoy it. Enjoy your whiskey the way you like. So those are my 5 tips. Again, try before you buy. Make some whiskey friends. Set a budget. Watch your tatering, Marvin. And then enjoy the whiskey the way you like. All right? Easy. If you follow those 5 steps, you'll avoid a lot of the hurdles that I had slammed my face into in getting into whiskey this year. So, all right, well, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Cheers.